Hello everyone, welcome back to another mod tutorial. We're going to be creating the Greatsword from Dark Souls 3. So there's a few different ones of this basically, but there's one main one, which is this Greatsword right here, which is pretty awesome looking, and we're going to be creating that today inside of Maya. So just look a few more images of it. So what we're going to be using as our blueprint, which I will link down below too, is this right here, which I will just rotate. That little image right there. I will rotate that in Maya and we will use that as our blueprint. So I already have that saved to my blueprint folder. I'm going to go into Maya here and I'm going to go to my front view. I'm going to go to View, Image Plane, Import Image, Documents, go to wherever you saved it. Whoops, wrong one. Should be in Blueprints and called Dark Souls 3 Greatsword. Okay. So here we have this. I'm going to make this a bit bigger too and push it back to here and just going to check something. Okay, we need to actually push this the other way. You see how down here this is covering the cube and now it's not because we need to have this behind because this model is going to be a little bit more. Okay, so now with this in here, we will rotate this, let's see, hold down J-Trod at 15-degree intervals. That doesn't look like this is going to work well. That looks straight. Perfect. Okay, so the rotation of this is negative 66.822, which I will probably link down below maybe, but just remember negative 66.822 is the rotation of this, that way you can get yours right. So with the cube I have created, I'm also going to disable the grid because it's just really annoying. We're going to go into this mode and create a cylinder, actually, yeah, and change the subdivisions to 4 and also make sure I'm recording myself. And maybe have another look at a different angle of this, maybe just something like that, but whoop-de-doo. Let's go back into Maya here, and the cool thing about having one of these at 4 is that, as you can see, basically, it's got already the blade shape with us, without us having to do any complicated things. So, with that like that, I'm going to turn on X-ray mode so I can kind of see our model a bit better, and I'm going to scale it up and rotate it so that it kind of matches our blade. And then just take these vertices and match them up with this. And this right here, you want to match up with the middle of that. The grid right now goes exactly through it basically because of the lineup we did, but otherwise just try and match that middle one up as well. So let's select the bottom one. Oh, anyways, the way how I did that basically was you select all of that and then hold down Shift and then select all of that, and basically if you press 4 to see your wireframe, that'll make it so you've only selected those bottom faces that we can use to extrude and stuff. So by pressing 5 in there again to go back to shaded, I'm going to go back into my front view here and probably scale that out a little bit just to match it better, and extrude this down to there, and I'm going to move these vertices back and then extrude this. Oops, looks like I've got to select those faces again. Extrude this down. Oh wait, have I been duplicating it? Sorry. I was pressing Control D instead of Control E, which is the hotkey. If your keyboard's broken, just go to Edit Mesh, Extrude. Edit Mesh, Extrude. There it is. Okay. So I believe this will probably go out a little bit like there. Then that can go to like that. And then we can select that top face, or a vertice right there, and then just hold down V and snap it up to there. So I'm trying to get the kind of look of that right there, that kind of triangle. So what you can do as well is select both of those and then merge them, or go to Edit Mesh, merge right there. So now that is just one. I'll just see something. Okay, good. I was just checking to see if when we smooth it doesn't distort anything. Now we can just take, let's see. Is there a clipping issue? No, okay. Might just select those. Just this one. Or actually, I think it goes in. Yeah, okay. We'll deal with that later. For now, we also should make this, as we're continuing, a bit thinner, because again, this is like a sword. So have that thinner, and we can continue work. Oh, another thing to do as we start making this is select it and go to Mesh Display, Harden Edge. That way we can see all the things without it having any bad shading. Okay, so let's continue extruding from the top here, doing the same method as before. Extrude out. I think I just duplicated it. Control E, extrude out, and in. Move this. Control E. I duplicated it again. I need to like fail safe. I'm just gonna make sure there's no other duplicated ones behind that. Okay, good. And then just drag these vertices to their belonging places. I duplicated it again. I'm so sorry. Okay. Zipping there. And then extrude this out. Scale it in. About to there. And then we can merge those top vertices too. So let's start with merging those two. Merging those two. And then merging those two. And should, yep, we have that one at the top. Give us that nice top of the blade right there. Okay, so this looks like it's the whole blade right now. What we can do that I kind of forgot to as well is we can bring this up to that so that it's on both sides looking like that. So make sure we have that vertice selected and merge it. Press 3 to preview our smooth, and that looks great. I use 3 to preview the smooth to just see if there's any mesh distortions or any errors like that we can catch them early. Okay, so believe that this whole thing, I'm just going to double click on these edges, sticks out a bit more than it does right now, so let's just bring that out a little more by scaling it. That looks pretty good. So now we can start making this part. So it looks like we will create, get some better images, a cube. And I'm going to see, yep, just looking at this, looks like it's just going to be a rectangle. Just another few images. That looks pretty cool. Make sure, okay, let's go back to that good one here. Looks like it's just a rectangle and it's got the designs that we will create in Maya here. So let's go to about here. And here or so. And I actually want to make these kind of straight, so I'm going to select both of those, I'm going to press R, and I'm just going to scale those in like that to make sure these are straight lines. Perfect. Now I'm going to select that top, right, make sure I have it selected, yep. And what did I press there? Okay. I'm going to Control E, press R, scale that out a little bit, and then Control E, and then scale that up to like there. And that will be where the blade will rest inside. Although, I think, let's see, I think I will scale, I think I'm going to bevel this bottom thing. So I'm going to select both of those and then bevel that, make that fraction a bit lower too, to like 0.2 or something. Select all of those faces down here like this, press R, whoops, and then just scale those down, that way we have a straighter edge. And also so that we have some thickness down at the bottom too. That is able to be extruded. Let's just see something. Okay, I'm just going to drop this into here and take a look at some more images. And, okay, I believe it should be out a bit more to like that. And that is our blade right there, and then we have this, and we have that cylinder in the middle. Let's try and make this design pattern though, right now I suppose. What I'm going to do for this is, we're going to add a bunch of divisions to it, so let's go to Edit Mesh, Add Divisions, and then just bring that up to like, maybe, let's see what, Trying to, no, okay. 5 maybe. Nah, that's a bit too much. 4, okay. I'm gonna select all of the ones from down here. Also, I'm actually just gonna delete the entire top right now because I want to make it differently. Seems like it's not wanting to play ball right now. Just gonna delete the entire top, and then we'll remake it after we're done making this design right here, which for a reason I'll explain later. Looks like we got that, and then I'm just gonna drag select all of that. It seems that it doesn't want to play. Okay. So one cool thing we can do, another cool thing I can teach right now, I guess, is if you select those right there and you shift period, it'll grow your selection. So I can select like that, and that'll have all of those, and I can just delete it, and that should be all of them. Okay, sorry about that, but it'll just make what we're about to do a bit easier. So now what we can do is just select all of the faces here, except for probably the bottom ones. So let's see how we can do that. Oh, we can just select that, and that should not select the bottoms. Yep. And maybe we won't even do the, okay, yeah, we don't even have a top right now. So Control E, you don't want to keep faces together, that's like the most important thing. And then just scale them all out. And then in a little bit, like that. Just try and make it a bit more square right here. Okay, let's take a look at that. And we have that cool design, as you can see right there. Looks pretty awesome. And now we need to make a top. I'm going to go to Mesh Fill Hole, which will give me a top right here. And just make sure that's working right. Yep. I'm going to select that face. The reason why I did this basically is because when we divided all of this, it also divided the top part, which as you can see is on a different level of subdivision. So we don't want that. So I'm going to extrude this out, press R, scale it out a little bit, and then bring it up. Okay. Now select all of those faces, just shift double click like that, and then Control E to extrude. I don't want to keep faces together. Bring those out to like there, and scale them in just like we were doing before. Okay. Looks pretty good. And then these guys are going to need to be selected. So I'm just going to select them all here. Okay, and the ones at the back too. That way these, because these are kind of like rectangle shapes right now and not really squares. So I want them all to be mine. And right now, these faces are all kind of squarey, so let's scale. Did I have something bad? Yep, there are these guys selected. If you press 4 to see your wireframe, it'll show you this, and it's kind of helpful for when you're doing things like that, because then you can see your entire thing to see if anything was taken. So let's do that, and maybe even make it, I want it to be maybe bigger. Yeah, looks pretty good right now, actually. Just scale it up a bit, and then scale it sideways. It's not scaling properly. I'm just going to leave it as a square. Okay, so we have that, which looks pretty nice, actually. I'm happy the way that turned out. And now we're going to make that cylinder in the middle. And I think this is about this for the first episode, though, because I did not realize the time. So basically what we've done right now is we've created the blade, and we've created that bottom part, and next episode we'll create that handle right there, and then we will, another episode, we will spend probably maybe adding more details. I'll see if I can fit that into one episode and smoothing it and stuff. And then we will UV texture it, and then we will texture it in Substance Painter finally. So let's just end the episode off. So bye.